welcome to the guide. I'm Yo.
And I'm Will.
And this is our weekly update. Got a lot to cover, so we're just going to dive right on in, starting off with a preview of the Amazing Spider-Man video game, which came out this week. I know you're really excited about this.
I've always been a born Spider-Man fan, so...
What do you think of how Beanox has handled the franchise since they took over a couple games ago?
I like it. I like that they're trying to do something different with Spider-Man, and I like the new approach, the new Amazing Spider-Man. You kind of have the free roam level thing is coming into play.
It's nice to go back to that from Spider-Man 2, which a lot of people is their favorite Spider-Man game, and Spider-Man 3 didn't quite follow up on it as well as we were hoping, and Beanox wanted to kind of get away from the open world stuff, do some different things with Spider-Man, but then they know that's what fans want.
Right,
and so they finally went back to the open world thing with Amazing Spider-Man. And, so far, swinging through the city is fun, as you would expect. The random, quote-unquote, random crimes get repetitive, as you'd expect. And it's cribbed a few things from Batman Arkham City, which you would expect, because that's the greatest superhero video game of all time.
Yeah, I was noticing they kind of stole the silent tackle.
Yeah, you got some stealth attacks in there, and the counter system is very similar, the combat's very similar, but of course not quite as polished as Arkham City. We'll give you our full review of that here soon as we play through more of the game. We're just in the early stages, but just a warning, my feeling right now, it may be a rental. So just in case you're curious.
I have a very average impression of it
so
far.
Yeah, that's been my impression so far as well. Now, going to the other end of the scale that's not average, Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. This is like a comic book nerd's dream come true.
Yes.
If you're a DC superhero fan. I mean, this game is crazy loaded with nerdy goodness for fans of DC superheroes.
Yeah, they really did a good job of getting away from the typical Lego theme of all the previous Lego games by involving a lot more characters, involving another open roam situation where you have Gotham kind of at the palm of your hands, which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. The open world is cool. All the characters you get is cool. I keep wanting to go back and play levels because I want to get more studs so I can buy more characters. Because like Shazam is in there, and I want Captain Marvel.
And there's at every level there's specific places you can only get to with certain characters. So it pays to get all of them.
Now the core game mechanics are the same as every other Lego game, where you smash everything inside, collect as many studs as possible, solve simple puzzles. So that hasn't changed. The open world, the fully voiced stuff, gives it kind of a different feel, but if you're kind of tired of the core Lego gameplay mechanics, they haven't changed radically, so this won't change your mind. If you're a DC superhero fan, this will be your dream come true game, because it is awesome to fly as Superman through Gotham City with the John Williams Superman score playing in the background as you fly through the city. It's so cool. You gotta check out our review of Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes, which I think we're both fans of.
Yeah, I think so. It's won me over out of any of the Lego games so far.
Yeah, check out our review, gameandmovieguide.com. Now, something that came up late last week, you might have been wondering why we didn't talk about it last week, but it was kind of like a last-minute thing, and so we didn't get to it. We found out about it after we did our video, and we figured we'd just mention it this week. Nintendo announced the 3DS XL.
XL!
What did you think of this announcement?
I don't know. I wish they did this initially, because I would like to have a bigger screen, but I don't want to re-buy my 3DS. So.
It's an interesting move. Now, the big question is, how do you feel about the lack of a second circle pad? Do you think they should have added it if they were going to do a new console version anyway?
It seems kind of silly, especially silly since they're making a bigger handheld device in general where there's room for another joystick.
Yeah, my impression is they're not really going to have a lot of games that support the second circle pad, and therefore that's why they're not going to include it in the 3DS XL, which makes sense. I mean, if they're not going to have games that use it a whole bunch, why bother putting it on there?
Yeah, and they seem to be focusing on using the stylus and touchpad instead of a second joystick. So
it's interesting, the 3DS XL will be coming out this August. It's going to come at a price of $199.99, so $200 for it. The screen screens are 90% bigger. Basically, the technology is exactly the same. No real improvements in graphics or anything else. The battery will last longer, which is good.
About 30 minutes longer. Not
huge,
substantial,
but still longer, which was a huge gripe for a lot of people with the original 3DS. And it comes in blue and red when it releases here. Europe and Japan get silver and white for some reason, but blue and red here. So, you know, I'm excited about having a bigger screen. I'll be curious to get my hands on it. But it's interesting that it's really not an improvement of the 3DS, it's just bigger.
I think it'll improve on certain games. Like,
I think so.
I wish I had it for when I was playing Ghost Recon.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I could have had a lot
Metal
more...
Gear Solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Attention to detail, you know,
Yes,
the levels.
exactly. And I don't know, I'll be curious to see what the 3D effect is like when you have a larger screen, if that makes the viewing area a little less restrictive since the screen is bigger. Will you have a bigger sweet spot? So questions like that, we will answer for you as soon as we can get one in August.
Yes.
Now, big news for the Avengers.
Oh yeah, they're got the bronze medal placement for
Nice
most money
Olympics
made.
reference there. Nice.
Coming to town.
Yeah, the Avengers cleared the $600 million mark domestically. That's just domestically. They're like 800 something million overseas. So they're like $1.4 billion
worldwide. Yeah.
Worldwide, number 3 all time on the box office chart. It's the movie to beat this year. And for probably the next several years.
They still can't top The Sound of Music, though.
Let's just leave that there and move on to our next topic, which is The Dark Knight Rises, which, of course, a lot of people are hoping that it'll match, maybe even exceed Avengers. I don't see that happening. Yeah. I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm just going to warn you now. It's not going to happen. That won't make it a less good movie.
I think there's just a smaller market because there's Batman fans, but then there's the entire collective of Marvel fans seeing the Avenger movie.
Right.
So,
but it is tracking well. So, Dark Knight Rises is going to be a huge movie. Probably not as huge as Avengers, but to get you excited about, this was pretty cool because guess what's coming to town?
The Tumbler and the Batpod.
What?
The coolest vehicles ever created, basically.
Yeah. They're going to be in town here in Albuquerque this weekend, Sunday, July 1st, over at Astro Zombies, our buddies over there.
Yeah, and there's only an hour window to see it. So
it's 2 to 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon. But that's pretty cool. You can go see the Batpod and the Tumbler in person right there on Central.
I'm kind of stoked. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome to see the Tumbler like cruising down Central?
Oh.
Just rumbling along right down Central. That'd be so awesome.
I'd feel like life would be so much more complete after that.
You probably would be. So yeah, Astro Zombies this Sunday, July 1st from 2 to 3 p.m. You can check out the Tumbler and the Batpod in person here in Albuquerque. I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm hoping they give out rides. I'm guessing they won't be.
I'm hoping they do, you know, weapons tests and examples, but I kind of don't see that happening.
Have people in the audience like hold up watermelons, shoot this off their hand.
Why don't they just bring the Tumbler to White Sands and then we can test all the bombs we want?
That would be fresh. The Tumbler at White Sands. It's going to be at Astro Zombies. You can check out Game and Movie Guide for more about that. And that wraps up this week full of interesting little details. But to keep up with everything that's going on, you can always check us out at Facebook.
Yeah, facebook.com/Game and Movie Guide. And then, of course, gameandmovieguide.com. You can connect with us on Twitter and Google+.
And also keep up with a whole bunch more with our friends over at HollywoodJesus.com.